Let me tell you something that separates the successful from the forgotten. Every great man or woman who's ever built something meaningful in this world, they didn't wait for the perfect day. They built their days. They didn't leave their power in the hands of luck or timing. They seized it. They claimed it. And they used it from the very first hour of the morning. So if you're watching this, I want you to understand one thing. The first decision you make every day, the very first habit you engage in, will either set you up for progress or keep you in the same place you've always been. Most people don't realize how powerful that morning moment is. They wake up and react to the world, but those who rise to the top, they act on the world. The visual differentiation of the term, rate, work the earth. Do this one thing every morning and do it with intention. And it will create a ripple effect through your entire life. I've lived it. And in this message, I'm going to give you not just one habit, but 7 essential practices that have the power to reshape your thinking, rewire your behavior, and rebuild the foundation of your results. These habits are not theory. They are tested, they are lived, and they are used by people who refuse to settle. You want clarity? Build it. You want confidence? Train it. You want purpose? Live it. And it all starts the moment your feet hit the floor in the morning, so don't just sit back and listen, absorb every word, because this isn't just a list of habits. This is the blueprint to claiming back control over your mind, your emotions, and your destiny. Now let's begin. The very first habit that will change your life is learning to sit with yourself every morning and take full command of your mind. Most people roll out of bed, grab their phone, scroll through noise, and surrender their mental state to the chaos of the world. But not the few who rise to the top. The high achievers, the builders, the leaders, they do something entirely different. They command the direction of their thinking before the world gets a chance to influence it. The writer of Dead or Red. This habit is not complicated, but it requires intention. You sit down, maybe for 5 minutes, maybe for 10, and you speak to yourself clearly and with purpose. You tell your mind what kind of day it's going to have. You speak your goals out loud. You visualize them, not as distant hopes, but as already happening. You reinforce your identity, you choose your state, and you make a promise to act like the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. Why is this so powerful? Because your mind is a battlefield. If you don't take charge of it, someone else will. That could be the news, the fears, the distractions, or the opinions of other people. But when you master this habit, this discipline of directing your focus, you set your internal thermostat for greatness. You don't react. You lead, and people who lead their own minds can lead their own lives. It's not about meditation in some mystical way. It's not about silence or spiritual escapes. It's about ownership. It's about looking at the day ahead and saying, this is what I'm going to do. This is who I am, and nothing will shake me. Do this every morning. Sit with yourself. Say your truth. Lock in your intention. Build your self-image like a muscle, because your results will never rise higher than your mindset. And your mindset will never rise if you don't feed it daily with clarity, conviction, and command. That is the first habit, and it will unlock the rest. The second habit is the anchor of every successful life. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not timing. It is routine built with intention and protected with discipline. Every great achiever you've ever studied or admired has a daily rhythm, a system they trust, a schedule they do not negotiate. Why? Because order breeds power and chaos breeds mediocrity. If you want to create extraordinary results, you need more than motivation, you need structure. And that structure comes from building a definite routine. This is not about being robotic. It's about designing your life with such precision that your energy is spent on doing the work, not thinking about what to do next. The mind craves clarity. When you have a routine, you eliminate the energy drain of constant decision making. You wake up and you already know what the first hour looks like. You already know when you move your body, when you review your goals, when you start your deep work. There's no debate. Only moving forward. What separates a high performer from an average one is not always intelligence or skill. It is the ability to stick to the plan, especially when emotions try to derail it. Most people fall into reactive living. They let the outside world dictate their actions. But when you build a routine, you move from reaction to creation. You become the architect of your day. Start simple. Design a morning that fuels you. Pick 3 core activities that align with your goals. Maybe it's training your body, reading something that expands your mind, writing out your targets for the day. Then do it every single day. No negotiation, because the moment you break your routine, you lose a piece of momentum, and success is a game of momentum. There will be days when your energy is low, your mood is off, and your circumstances are chaotic. That's when this habit becomes your weapon. Your routine doesn't care how you feel. It keeps you moving, keeps you grounded, and most importantly, keeps you growing. And as you keep stacking days of consistency, something magical happens. Your confidence rises, your identity shifts. You start to see yourself as the kind of person who shows up, who follows through, who lives with intention. That's how greatness is built, not in one massive leap, but in 1,000 disciplined days. So build your routine, honor it, trust it. It's not just a habit, it's a declaration that you run your life, not the other way around. The third habit is the master key to your internal kingdom. It is the control of your inner dialogue. Every word you whisper to yourself is a seed planted deep in the subconscious soil, and your life becomes the harvest. If you speak weakness, you get duped. If you speak strength, you gain courage. The world responds not just to your actions, but to the vibration of your thoughts. The greatest battle you'll ever fight is the one within your own mind. You can have all the plans, all the opportunities, all the drive, but if your mind is poisoned by fear, by self-judgment, by mental noise, you will never fully manifest the life you're chasing. That's why this habit is not optional. It's essential. Every morning when you wake up, before the world tries to distract you, before the news floods your attention, before messages start buzzing your phone, you must seize your mind. You must decide the tone of your internal conversation. Are you going to be your own coach or your worst critic? Are you going to reinforce power or perpetuate doubt? The people who rise, who lead, who create, who thrive, they speak to themselves like it already belongs to them. They don't wait for external validation. They program their minds with words of purpose, of certainty, of control. They don't say maybe. They say I will. They don't say I hope. They say it's done. And because they believe, they act. And because they act, they win. If you've been trapped in a loop of negativity, understand this. It wasn't your fault, but it is your responsibility now. You've been fed lies about what you can't do, who you're not, why you'll fail, and you believe them because repetition is power. But repetition works both ways. Start repeating what you want to be true. Say it out loud. Say it with conviction. Say it until your nervous system accepts it as reality. This is not fake positivity. This is reprogramming. Because the subconscious mind does not argue, it accepts. So when you feed it doubt, it accepts limitation. When you feed it faith, it activates potential. Speak life into your future. Speak energy into your habits. Speak confidence into your daily steps. From this day forward, I want you to become obsessed with how you speak to yourself. No more I can't. Replace it with I'm learning. No more I'm stuck. Replace it with I'm building. Every time you speak, ask, is this creating the future I desire, or is this reinforcing the one I want to escape? And you cannot attract success with a vocabulary of defeat. Your language must match your vision. Talk like the person you are becoming, and soon you'll forget the voice that once held you back. The fourth habit is the game changer, the habit that separates dreamers from achievers. It is the principle of doing the hardest thing first. It's not about comfort, and it's not about ease. It's about execution. It's about dominating the one thing you're most likely to avoid, and doing it first before the day takes control of you. Successful people, truly successful people, don't wait for motivation. They build momentum. They know the morning is when your willpower is strongest, your mind is sharpest, and distractions are weakest. That is when the most valuable work must be done. And if you master this single decision to attack the hardest task first, you begin every day as a conqueror, not a reactor. The world wants you busy, the world wants you scattered. But the person who chooses to attack their biggest priority first gains power, clarity, and speed, while everyone else is hiding in comfort tasks, checking their phone, refreshing their feed. You've already done the one thing that moves your life forward. That is not discipline. That is domination. You want confidence? Do hard things. You want self-respect? Keep your promises, especially when no one is watching. You want progress? Don't avoid the pressure, walk straight into it. Because what you avoid controls you, but what you face, you master. The fear of the task is always louder than the task itself. And the moment you begin, you're already dismantling that fear. Every single morning, before you answer a single message, before you scroll, before you do the routine stop, and ask yourself one question: what is the hardest thing I need to do today? And then do it. Do it without hesitation. Do it even if it's messy. Do it before your emotions talk you out of it. That's how warriors move. This isn't just about achievement. It's about identity. Because every time you attack the tough work, instead of avoiding it, you tell yourself, I am someone who gets it done. I am someone who leads, who builds, who finishes. And over time, that identity becomes unshakable. And here's the truth: discipline is freedom. Most people think discipline means restriction, but it's the opposite. Discipline is what frees you from regret. It frees you from chaos. It frees you from failure. When you're disciplined, you don't need to rely on luck. You become the cause. You become the force. The hardest part is always starting. But once you start, you build motion, and motion builds confidence, and confidence builds success. So do the hard thing first, and you win the whole day before the world even wakes up. This next habit is non-negotiable. You become what you allow around you. If you want to rise, you must build a wall between yourself and anything that pulls you down. This includes people, distractions, places, and most importantly, thoughts. If you surround yourself with noise, you become noise. If you surround yourself with clarity, intention, and ambition, you start reflecting it. Not too many people are walking through life wide open to every influence, every complaint, delaying, in the cellar, every excuse, every bit of fear coming from the world around them. That is not how greatness is built. Greatness is not casual. It is guarded. It is protected. If your environment is toxic, your results will be poisoned. But if your environment is engineered for growth, your mindset sharpens, your habits harden, and your goals start chasing you back. Start with people. Who do you speak to daily? Are they pushing you forward or pulling you backward? Are they building you up or feeding your doubts? Every voice you let in becomes part of your internal dialogue, so choose wisely. Surround yourself with believers, with doers, with people who challenge your excuses, not those who excuse your potential. You don't need a crowd. You need a circle tight, focused, and built on purpose. Then look at your physical environment. Is it clean? Is it organized? Does it reflect the kind of future you are building, or does it reflect a version of you that's stuck in the past? Your space is either empowering your vision or suffocating it. If you walk into clutter, your mind becomes cluttered. If you walk into order, your mind becomes clear. Don't underestimate this. Clean your space. Design your day. Control what you see, hear, and feel. That's how you control your state. Now the biggest battlefield, your mental environment. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your inputs. What are you feeding your mind every day? Are you scrolling mindlessly, consuming weakness, comparison, distraction? Or are you feeding it power, clarity, structure? Are you reading, learning, writing, planning? Your brain is fertile soil. Whatever you plant, it will grow. So if you plant doubts, you grow hesitation. But if you plant purpose, you grow action. And here's the key. The mind is programmable. The more you repeat the right inputs, the more automatic they become. Create systems. Block out time. Design your calendar to serve you, not just to remember appointments, but to build the environment you thrive in. Rituals build routine, and routine becomes destiny. This habit is not just about avoiding the negative. It's about actively curating the positive. Listen to voices that light a fire in you. Read words that sharpen your vision. Watch people who have built what you want to build. Protect your time like a treasure chest. Don't give it away freely. Earn it, use it, invest it. And finally, understand this: your environment is not just what you're in. It's what you tolerate as your stona, and build walls where needed, and open doors only when it aligns with the future you are building. The word. This is how you become unstoppable, not just by what you do, but by what you allow. Build the right environment, and the right version of you will rise naturally, consistently, and powerfully. The next habit is one that separates the average from the extraordinary. It's simple to say, but brutal to live by. Master your time, or your time will master you. Every second that passes is either used in service of your goals or stolen by distractions that don't deserve your attention. Success is not a game of chance. It is a game of direction. And direction is built by how you manage the minutes you are given. This final habit is the foundation that holds all the others together. Because no matter how disciplined you are, no matter how much vision you have, you cannot grow into your highest self in isolation. You rise or you fall with the people you keep close. That's the truth. Your inner circle is either fueling your greatness or feeding your mediocrity. And if you want to build a legacy, you must surround yourself with people who demand more from you than you sometimes demand from yourself. Understand this: time is the one resource that no amount of money can buy back. You can lose money and get it back. You can lose energy and recover it, but the second that just passed, it's gone. Forever. So why is it that so many people spend their days as if they have unlimited time? They scroll, they delay, they say, I'll do it tomorrow, like tomorrow is promised. But those who build real legacies know every day is a battle, and your calendar is your battlefield, the interracial battle. Rudderman, you need to attack your day, not wander through it. You need to decide right now who owns your time. Is it your purpose, or is it every distraction and request thrown your way? If you don't take control, someone else will, and they won't use it for your benefit. They will use your time to build their dream, not yours. Start your day with structure. That doesn't mean filling every minute. It means every minute has a reason. Time blocking. Saying no, saying yes only to the things that build you. This is not about being busy. This is about being intentional. Don't confuse motion with progress. A rocking horse moves all day, but it gets nowhere. Make a list every morning, not of what you hope to do, but what you must do. Categorize your tasks. Urgent, important, optional. E, eliminate the optional. Attack the important. Outsource or automate the urgent if you can, but don't touch your phone until your purpose has been addressed. That notification can wait. Your future can't. And don't wait for motivation. Time doesn't care if you're in the mood. Winners build systems so that emotion doesn't get a vote. You work when you said you'd work. You show up when you said you would. You become your word. That's how you build self-trust. And that's how you bend time in your favor, by being where you said you'd be, doing what you said you'd do over and over again. Now understand these distractions are everywhere, but they only have power if you open the door. Every scroll, every pointless conversation, every time you choose comfort over commitment, it costs you. The price is your momentum, your edge, your leadership over yourself. And that's a cost you can't afford. The greats don't have more time than you. They just use it better. They don't let 5-minute tasks steal their whole morning. They don't say yes to everything. They don't treat their energy like it's limitless. They guard it. They schedule recovery like they schedule work. They think in hours, not days. They think in results, not routines. Time is your scoreboard. You want to know if you're winning? Look at how you spent the last 7 days. Were they built with purpose? Were they driven by clarity? Or did you drift from 1 hour to the next, hoping it would all work out, Mastering time is mastering yourself. Because time is not just about what you do. It's about who you become in the process. You shape your destiny in the way you schedule your life. And once you do it with discipline, day in and day out, you realize the truth. It was never about having more hours. It was about having more focus, more courage, more intention. That's what turns a 24-hour day into a legacy. Look around you right now. Who are you walking with? Who are you listening to? Who has your ear and your energy? Because if they're not sharpening you, they're dulling you. If they're not challenging you, they're enabling your excuses. If they don't hold you accountable to your vision, they are part of the problem, not the solution. Understand something, powerful environment is stronger than will. You can have the best habits, the clearest goals, but if you're surrounded by people who are satisfied with being average, you will shrink, you will compromise. You will slow down just enough to match their pace. That is how dreams die, not from a lack of effort, but from the wrong energy. You need to be around winners, around people who think bigger, work harder, and live with intensity. People who don't just talk about success, they embody it. Their presence forces you to raise your game. Their mindset influences yours. Their hunger becomes contagious. And suddenly, your own standards evolve. But building this circle takes courage. It means saying no to comfort. No to the familiar faces who don't want to grow. No to friendships built on the past instead of the future. You're not being rude. You're being honest with your mission. Because greatness is not about being liked. It's about being aligned. And you can't align yourself with people who live in conflict with your calling. Now listen, your circle should include people who call you out when you fall short, who won't celebrate your laziness, who aren't impressed by excuses. You need truth tellers, not cheerleaders. You need builders, not talkers. People who inspire you, not with their words, but with their daily commitment to the grind. You want to move fast? Go alone. You want to go far? Go together, but with the right people, with those who remind you of what you said you'd do, who challenge you when you're drifting, who support you but never let you stay comfortable. These are the people who turn pressure into progress. They don't let you settle. They don't let you forget who you are. And yes, there will be people who fall away when you grow. That's natural. Growth exposes distance. And when you evolve, some relationships will not come with you. Let them go. Do it with grace, but do it without guilt. You are not here to stay the same. You are here to become something more, and that requires a tribe that mirrors your vision, not your limitations. So build your inner circle like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Who you listen to becomes who you become. Who you run with determines how far you go. And the right people will not only walk with you, they'll make sure you never stop running. This is not just a habit, it's a principle. A code, one that turns discipline into destiny and potential into power. Now that you've heard these 7, I want you to understand something that most people never realize. Success is not an accident. Discipline is not a gift. Clarity is not luck. Greatness is built brick by brick through deliberate daily action. And every single one of these habits I shared with you today, they are not just strategies. They are weapons, tools. When you use them, when you live them, you transform not just your results, but your identity. Let me tell you why most people stay average. It's not because they don't want success. Everyone says they want more. Everyone says they want discipline, confidence, peace of mind. But wanting is not enough. Wishing is not doing. The world is filled with people who dream big in their heads, but act small in their habits. And what separates the successful from the stagnant is this. The successful do what needs to be done, even when it's not easy, even when it's not fun, even when no one's clapping. You want to build something real? Then act like it. Wake up every morning with purpose. Train your mind before the world distracts it. Make your habits non-negotiable. Choose your circle with intention. Reflect deeply. Speak less. Work more. Live like every day is your shot, because it is. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to remind you. You are the CEO of your future, the architect of your habits, the commander of your choices. And if you do these things, if you live these 7 habits with intensity, with commitment, with hunger, you won't need motivation. You'll become the kind of person who creates results on demand. That's real freedom. Every giant you've ever admired started with a decision, a moment, a single day where they chose to live differently. That moment can be today if you make it one. Start with one habit. Make it your anchor, then stack the next, and the next. Because the life you're dreaming of, the version of you you're chasing, it's not waiting at the finish line. It's hidden in the way you live every day.